Hi CS50. Here I am with my final project, which is a Flask-based web application to scrape and bulk download image files of a web page. I know it's not a very good idea because a browser extension or software would be better for this purpose, and there are already numerous of them out there. But for this project, I wanted to see if I had a good idea, how good could I have implemented it. In other words, I focused on aesthetics rather than novelty in this project. Not that I have a lot of original ideas. So let's start with my project named PicScraper. I have a tab opened here with Wikipedia page of cat loaded in it. One thing to note here, this application only works with pages that you can get by making GET requests, not POST. So I can just copy the URL of this page, paste it in my URL section and hit enter. And we can see that we have 42 images on that page. Now I can start selecting the images like these and these, and actually I can select them all by clicking here and click download. So it's zipping the files, and as soon as we are done, we've got our file downloaded. Now I can just click on it to extract the files and click here, click here, and click here, and done. Now we can open the folder and go to the extracted folder, and voila, we've got all the images. Now we can click on one of them to check, and we see that we indeed have them. I also added some error detection systems here that may be triggered in various conditions. Like if I enter a wrong URL, like www.wrongurl.com, it shows me a 404 error saying that the web page indeed doesn't exist. Okay, let's talk a little bit about structure. In my templates folder, I've got index.html, search.html, and error.html, all of which extends layout.html. As you can see, I've used Bootstrap and found awesome for styling and particle.js for background that uses the files particle.js, app.js, and config.js. In app.py, I've used Beautiful Soup for scraping the HTML, zip file and requests for downloading and zipping the images, and CS50 for database management. When post request is submitted at root, it checks for correct input, requests and scrapes the response and renders search HTML with a unique timestamp, which is later submitted as a hidden input when download button is clicked. I've also used multi-threading to handle the download operations because it can be time consuming, and hence the timestamp is used to distinguish client requests. You can see some database queries that I've used to update the progress bar that I've seen earlier. Here the primary key is the timestamp, and an entry is cleared as soon as the download finishes to reduce redundancy. Many thanks to CS50 team for making this amazing content. I've had the best learning experience in CS so far. From Chittagong, Bangladesh, my name is Saikat and this was CS50.